You were so close. The job interview was going perfectly. The relationship was finally working. The goal was right in front of you. And then you did something. Maybe you stopped trying. Maybe you started an argument for no reason. Maybe you just gave up. And the worst part? You knew you were doing it. You watched yourself destroy something good and couldn't stop. This is called self-sabotage, and it happens to almost everyone. But here's what nobody tells you. You are not broken. Your brain is doing exactly what it was designed to do. And once you understand why, everything changes. Self-sabotage is any behavior where you actively work against your own goals and best interests. Procrastinating on something important, pushing away people who care about you, overeating when you're trying to be healthy, starting fights when things are going too well, quitting just before you succeed. These don't look the same on the surface, but underneath, they all come from exactly the same place. And that place is not weakness. It is protection. Here's the key insight that changes everything. Your brain's #1 priority is not your happiness. It is not your success. It is not even your health. Your brain's #1 job, the thing it has been doing since you were born, is to keep you safe. And safe, to your brain, means familiar, means predictable, means known. The moment something new and good starts happening in your life, a new relationship, a promotion, a healthier version of you, your brain sends out an alarm. This is unfamiliar. I don't know how to handle this. And it begins to pull you back toward what it knows, even if what it knows is pain, even if what it knows is failure, even if what it knows is loneliness. Familiar pain is safer than unfamiliar happiness. That is self-sabotage at its core. Psychologists call this your comfort zone, but that name is misleading. It's not actually comfortable, it's just known. A person who grew up in chaos will sabotage peace because peace feels wrong. A person who was always told they weren't smart enough will sabotage success because success feels like a lie waiting to be exposed. A person who was abandoned will sabotage love because waiting for someone to leave feels more bearable than being surprised by it. Your self-sabotage is not random. It is a deeply personal response to your specific history. It is your brain trying to protect you from a threat that no longer exists. There's a psychological concept called self-handicapping. Researchers discovered that when people are afraid of failing at something that matters, they unconsciously create obstacles for themselves in advance. They don't study before the exam. They go out drinking the night before a big presentation. They pick a fight with their partner right before a difficult conversation. Why? Because if they fail with a handicap in place, they have an excuse. The handicap protects their self-image. It's safer to fail because you didn't try than to try your absolute hardest and still fail. Because that second kind of failure would tell you something about yourself that you're not ready to hear. Self-sabotage is often just self-protection with a disguise on. There's also something called the upper limit problem, identified by psychologist Gay Hendricks. He noticed that every person has an internal thermostat for how much happiness, success, and love they believe they deserve. When your life rises above that internal limit, when things get too good, you unconsciously bring yourself back down to where you feel you belong. You start a fight. You make a mistake at work. You cancel plans. You find a way to return to your set point. And your set point was installed in you in childhood, by what you were told, what you witnessed, what you experienced. You are not sabotaging your future. You are protecting the story you were taught about yourself. So what do you actually do about it? First, name it when it happens. Most self-sabotage works because it's invisible. You tell yourself you're just being realistic or cautious or that you changed your mind. The moment you can say, "This is self-sabotage, this is my brain trying to keep me small," you take away half its power. Awareness alone is not enough, but without awareness, nothing else works. Second, get curious instead of critical. When you catch yourself sabotaging, the worst thing you can do is attack yourself for it. That just adds more pain on top of pain and makes the sabotage worse. Instead, ask, what am I afraid of here? What does my brain think will happen if this actually works out? What feels unsafe about this good thing? The answer is almost always something from your past that no longer applies to your present. But your brain doesn't know that until you look directly at it.
Third, expand slowly. You cannot force your brain to be comfortable with something unfamiliar overnight, but you can increase your tolerance for good things gradually. Let the relationship be good for one more week. Stay with the goal for one more day. Sit with the success without destroying it for just a little longer. Every time you do this, you are raising your internal thermostat. You are teaching your nervous system that good things are safe, that you can handle them, that you deserve them. And over time, your set point shifts. The sabotage quiets. Not because you fixed something broken in you, but because you showed your brain enough evidence that safety and success can exist in the same place. Self-sabotage is not a character flaw. It is a survival strategy that outlived its usefulness. Your brain learned to protect you the only way it knew how, by keeping you small, familiar, and predictable. And it did that job well for a long time. But you are not that person anymore. You don't need that protection anymore. And the most powerful thing you can do right now, today, is look at the ways you hold yourself back and say, I see you. I understand why you're here, and I don't need you anymore.